Artists reflect on the legacy of Warped Tour. Real Big Fish wage war lasting legacy. Warped Tour. Picture this. It's a sunny day and the temperature's pushing 90 degrees. Bands from around the world ready their sets for a growing crowd of enthusiastic fans against the backdrop of a cloudless blue sky, palm trees and distant California mountains. There couldn't be a better setting to kick off the first day of Vans Warped Tour's final summer. When festival creator Kevin Lyman announced 2018 would be the final run for the popular touring summer festival, we knew it would be a big one. That's why we were on site for the tour's kickoff day on June 21 in Pomona, Calif, where we had the chance to sit down with many of the bands performing this summer this year to find out why Warped Tour has been so influential during its 20-year run. As one of the only all-female bands on this summer's Warped Tour lineup, Phoenix-based rockers Dollskin have an empowering message to share, and Warped provides the perfect stage. When asked to sum up Warped Tour in one word, they each chose wild, exhilarating, inclusive, and amazing, a true reflection of the festival experience. Dead Girls Academy singer Michael Vampire is no stranger to the Warped stage. Vampire, who said he's very grateful to be on the tour, revealed his very first Warped Tour experience as a fan. "I don't remember the year, it was a long time ago. It was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida," he shares. "When I found out there was a festival you could go to and see these bands, I was there, all in one place in one day. It was surreal and the experience was amazing. Not only did many of the bands we talked to share the unforgettable feeling of performing on the Warped Tour stage, but they also acknowledged that in many ways the tour has been an influential vetting ground for new bands." Metalcore band Issues, who planned on playing a song they've never performed live for the first time on the 2018 tour stage, point out how Warped Tour has created a venue that can make or break artists. Warped Tour is a very interesting phenomenon because it takes everyone who would be interested in this music and shoves every single person in the same area. Observe Issues. "So if you can make a name for yourself on Warped Tour, then you will. If you suck, then you won't." Someone called it the Great Equalizer. When we sat down with Australian band Tonight Alive vocalist Jenna McDougall, she shared a poignant message she has learned throughout her 4 rounds as a touring artist with Warped. "I wish I knew when I was younger that I don't have to try. You just be," McDougall says. "It's just amazing, we get to come back this many times. I'm just happy to be here and play the music we know people love now. We don't have to project anything." While most bands we talked to took the time to reflect on the bittersweet closing of a 20-year chapter in music history, Real Big Fish weren't convinced this is the end for Warped Tour. In fact, they have a solid plan for the festival's future, a cruise. Warped Tour already packs a community of like-minded fans and artists in a small space, but throw in free ice cream on the high seas, and Real Big Fish will be there. Florida-based band Wage War attended Warped Tour as fans when they were young. Like other musicians who first attended the festival for fun, there's a sense of giving back to the community that fostered their love of the very music they now perform on stage. "I remember going and it felt like magic watching some of the bands," say Wage War. "To be the person giving that back to people who like our music, that's really sick, because I was that kid in the crowd at one point." Heavy band The Amity Affliction are 3-year veterans of Warped, and they share a sentiment about performing on the tour with many of the artists we spoke to. For everyone involved, from fans to artists, Warped Tour has created something really magical that will be hard to replace. "It was like a dream come true for me to even be on it the first time," they say. "Doing the last one is special. Catching up on music news powered by the Recording Academy just got easier." Have a Google Home device? Talk to Grammys. The used Burt McCracken at Warped Tour 2018 used Burt McCracken Warped Tour music Hares Canyon. Since their inception in 2001, the used vocalist Burt McCracken, bassist Jeff Howard, drummer Dan Whitesides, and guitarist Joey Bradford have amassed a passionate following thanks to their genre-bending rock music. With the release of their 2017 LP, The Canyon, which landed at number 3 on Billboard's Hard Rock Albums chart, their influence has only grown. At the first date of Warped Tour for summer 2018, our host, Ryan J. Downey, caught up with Used frontman McCracken in Pomona, Calif, on June 21, where we got the inside scoop on the making of The Canyon, which was produced by Ross Robinson. The project, which aimed to show music in its purest form, had a profound effect on McCracken. We were greatly inspired by our live and acoustic album, We wanted to make a record that let the humanity of all our mistakes and who we are as people shine through, McCracken says. Getting down to the true essence of what art is capable of was groundbreaking for me. McCracken also opened up about being sober for 6 years now, which wouldn't have happened without the support of the Recording Academy-affiliated health and human services charity, MusiCares. If any of you know anyone who's struggling with addiction, there's help, McCracken advises. MusiCares is personally responsible for saving this man's life. And the only reason why I mention it is because I thought I could quit doing it on my own. For a certain number of people on the planet, the only way is with professional help. Downey and McCracken also covered the importance of Warped Tour itself, especially given that the tour is closing after a 20-year run this year. For the Used, after they saw the electric response of Newfound Glory during their first Warped Tour experience, they knew that's what they wanted to do. And now, all these years later, that's exactly what the Used has accomplished. Catching up on music news powered by the Recording Academy just got easier. Have a Google Home device? Talk to Grammys. Tonight Alive's Jenna McDougall on Warped Tour. Tonight Alive's Jenna McDougall specialness. Warped Tour Australian band Tonight Alive formed Down Under in Australia in 2008. Comprised of vocalist Jenna McDougall, guitarist Jake Hardy, bassist Cameron Adler, and drummer Matt Best, the band has gifted the alt-rock community with 4 full-length studio albums so far, including their latest January 2018 LP, Underworld. As Warped Tour veterans, our host, Ryan J. Downey, caught up with the band's lead singer McDougall at the first day of this year's festivities in Pomona, Calif, on June 21, where she dished on the evolution of performing at the revered summer festival, the advice she would share with her younger self, and why the Warped Tour community has been so important during its 20-year run. So you have obviously done the Warped Tour before. Is it bittersweet knowing this is the last time? A little bit. Think it's going to become a little bit more painful as we get into it, recreating that bond, and feeling it again. It's been a pretty life-changing tour for us. This is our 4th time. I was going to ask you if you could sum up Warped Tour in one word, and I suppose life-changing. It's hyphenated. That counts. I feel like evolution. It just gives you a chance to embody what you want to embody and be who you want to be. You get to put that in practice every single day and really manifest your highest devotion to yourself, highest devotion to your band. I love it. What was your impression of Warped Tour growing up? Obviously not growing up in America. Was it just something you always inspired to, like, I want to be on that someday, I want to go to that someday? We did, absolutely. We grew up in Australia, and it's so far removed from everything. Every band we loved was American and all we wanted to do was become an international touring band. I remember being 14 and watching YouTube videos of Rufio. They were one of our favorite bands growing up and we got to tour with them in the following years. We were really young when we heard about Warped and we never got to be fans of the festival. We are fans of the festival, but we see it from a different perspective. We see it from the inside out or outside in. This is your 4th Warped Tour. What do you wish that you would have known the first time that you know now, the 4th time, that makes your life easier out here? Maybe not even totally related, but just in general, what I wish I knew when I was younger is that I don't have to try. You just be who you are, and you emit a frequency, you put out a signature and people will pick up on it or they won't. And that's okay. It's not a reflection of your worthiness or your ability to be interesting or your skills or anything like that. It's not a reflection of that. It's just a reflection of whether you resonate with people. I think I always tried to perfect and control how people would receive me or our band. And now it's just amazing we get to come back this many times. I'm just happy to be here and play the music we know people love now. We don't have to project anything. So I think that comes with age as well as experience. I want to ask you, we are asking everybody that's here, if you could say anything to Kevin, Lyman, and those who run Warped Tour, given it's the last time, I thank you or anything like that. Everything I could say, they know. This has been a life-changing experience for me. It's given me a chance to cultivate a sense of identity, a sense of connecting with people and figuring out what matters to me. I love the fact that it's 6 weeks long. I'm sure in the past it has been longer, but the fact that you get to do this every day, it really challenges you and tests you. It wants you to know if this is important enough. And it is. And it creates passion and it feeds your fire, and that's the opportunity that they put in front of us as artists, but also that they put in front of kids as well, to come to a place where that energy of being an outcast and a rebel and an anti-conformist is amplified, and the safety. There's a bubble that surrounds us and it pulls us all in. I just feel for the people that live in one city and only get to see this once a year, and we get to do it 36 times a year. It's a place where all of us outsiders can come together and belong somewhere. 100%. I don't want that to go away. But we'll find other places. People will always find community in music, and music like tonight alive. Thanks for talking to us. Thank you. Catching up on music news powered by the Recording Academy just got easier. Have a Google Home device? Talk to Grammys. Echo Smith on the final Warped Tour. Echo Smith talk Warped Tour Over My Head new album. When Echo Smith first performed at Warped Tour in 2013, they were still a fledgling band few people were familiar with. But thanks in part to playing at the popular summer festival and their infectious hit Cool Kids, it wasn't long until Echo Smith became an international sensation. This year, as they take the stage for the final Warped Tour, things have changed a little for the trio of siblings. Our host, Ryan J. Downey, sat down with Echo Smith, Sydney, Noah and Graham Seartha at the opening day of Warped Tour 2018 in Pomona, Calif, on June 21st, where they reflected on just how far the band has come since that very first Warped Tour. It's 2013 we played the first time, and then 2014, where people actually started to know who we were, says Sydney Seartha. So much has happened in our lives in a personal and obviously career way, so we're just excited to be back here and play the show tonight and see so many familiar faces and new faces too. Those familiar with Echo Smith will know they recently released a new single titled Over My Head, which will be featured on their upcoming sophomore album. Over My Head captures the frustrations of misunderstandings, but conveys a positive message about connecting with others, especially in today's divided political climate. It's about the frustration and the tension that comes with having miscommunications, especially with people you're close to, says Sydney Seartha. It's actually a very relatable song for so many different reasons for me even. But it feels very close to my heart because I love communicating and I think it's so important we're on the same page, and even if we don't agree we know where each other stands. And while we've heard rumblings about that second LP, it seems we won't have to wait too much longer for new music. The band is nearly there, minus a few key details. We are currently finishing the sophomore album. It's very close to being done, reveals Sydney Seartha. I think it's just a matter of one song that we need to add and deciding what that is and what the order is, and the title of the album and all that. But we're so close and we're just eager to get that out finally, but we want it to be right. Catching up on music news powered by the Recording Academy just got easier. Have a Google Home device? Talk to Grammys.